Have you ever felt like the rug was pulled out from under you at work? Like everything was fine one day and the next, people you care about were suddenly gone with no warning? Today, we're talking about a tough topic: layoffs. Whether you've been through them yourself or watched your team get smaller while your workload stayed the same, you know how much it can shake you. I've been through 3 rounds of layoffs now at my corporate job, and each one hit differently. But they all taught me something about grief, about resilience, and about how we choose to see the situation we're in. So, if you're feeling heavy, uncertain, or even fearful about the state of your job, I want to offer you a few honest reflections and a few perspective shifts that might help you breathe easier. Let's get into it.
Feeling stuck in your UX career, like no one sees the strategy, heart, or leadership you bring? You're not alone, and that ends now. I'm Brittany Cates, UX designer and career coach, and I know what it's like to feel overlooked, underestimated, and boxed in. This is Elevate Your UX Career, the podcast for mid-career designers ready to lead with confidence and influence far beyond the Figma files. If you're done waiting for permission, then grab your favorite drink, shut down that mock request, and let's get into it.
Real quick before we jump into the content, if you're a mid-career UX designer who wants to grow their impact, influence, and confidence, I've created something just for you. Come join my email list where I share deeper insights from the show, free career growth resources, and updates on new episodes you won't want to miss. You'll also get my free guide called the UX Influence Accelerator to help you start leading, be seen, and get heard as a mid-career UX designer. You can sign up using the link in the show notes or DM me on LinkedIn and I'll get you the link. All right, let's get going. I remember the first time layoffs happened at my corporate job. We just got acquired by a larger company, and suddenly a bunch of the designers I had grown really close to were let go. It felt jarring, unfair, cold, and honestly, I was heartbroken. Coming from teaching, layoffs weren't something I'd ever really experienced in that way. There was so much grief and so much uncertainty. I couldn't understand how people could be cut so quickly and how sterile the whole process felt. And then, another year later, it happened again. More layoffs. More people I cared about gone, and this time the fear started creeping in. Am I next? Should I leave before I get told to leave? Is this even the right company for me anymore? All very natural thoughts that most humans would probably think in a situation like that. But by the third and most recent round of layoffs, something in me had shifted. I wasn't numb to it, but I also wasn't shaken in the same way. I'd been here before. I knew how this company handled layoffs. I still didn't love it, but I wasn't spiraling the way I had in the past. This time, I noticed something new. I started observing how other people reacted, how my teammates handled the news. Some cried, some were calm, some were relieved, and one of our UX designers literally walked into the HR meeting smiling and said, "I'm ready for what's next." Another manager joked that he'd been dodging the bullet for years and maybe it was just time. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. The layoff itself doesn't define the story. How we respond to it does. So let's talk about 3 powerful reframes that might help you if you're navigating layoffs, whether you were directly impacted or just dealing with the aftermath on your team. Number 1, it's normal to grieve, even if you've kept your job. Layoffs can rock your world, even if you weren't the one let go. It's called layoff survivor guilt, and it's real. Because when you care about your team, it hurts to see them leave. And when your own sense of security is shaken, it brings up a lot of anxiety and fear. So to navigate this, give yourself permission to process it. Don't rush to just be grateful that you still have a job. Take time to journal, talk to trusted friends, and even go for a walk to release the tension in your body. Your feelings are valid, whatever they may be. Number 2, the layoff is not a reflection of your worth. Layoffs are usually about budgets, restructuring, or strategy, not your talent or contribution. It's easy to take it personally, especially in roles like UX, where the impact of our work can be misunderstood. But getting laid off is not the same as getting fired. It doesn't mean you failed. So try this reframe. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" ask, "What do I want next?" This is your opportunity to pause, reflect, and make a bold move toward the work you really want. Which leads me into point number 3. This might be your opening, not your ending. A layoff can feel like the end, but for so many people I've talked to, it was actually the beginning of something better. Because disruption forces us to look at what we really want, to stop settling, to finally take the leap we've been putting off. So, how can you tap into what you really want? Well, start by reconnecting with your vision. What kind of work excites you? What kind of team do you want to be a part of? Who do you want to become next? This is your chance to rebuild with more intention, more clarity, and more alignment. Ultimately, layoffs are never easy. They stir up grief, fear, and so many unanswered questions. But they can also reveal who we are and what matters most. And when we pause long enough to reflect, we open the door to something new. So whether you've just gone through a layoff, watched others around you go, or are still living in the anxiety of what if, I hope today's episode gave you some perspective and comfort. You're not alone in this, and you're more resilient than you think. If this resonated with you, please send it to a friend who's navigating layoffs or corporate change, because I believe we grow stronger with a support system. Now for today's question in the Ask the Designer segment. The question comes from Marcus. He says, "I'm trying to figure out what kind of UX role fits me best. I like doing research and strategy, but I also enjoy visual design. There's so much pressure to specialize, but I don't want to box myself in too early. How do you find clarity on your path as a UX designer when your interests span multiple disciplines?" Okay, I think that this question is really applicable because it ties into this idea of finding clarity after job loss. Or in Marcus's case, finding clarity in your career in general. So, first off, Marcus, thank you for asking this because feeling pulled in multiple directions in UX is fairly common. The industry loves to talk about specialization, and while, yes, that can help in certain environments or roles, it's not a requirement for building a fulfilling career, especially not right away. Because the truth is, most mid-level UX roles actually benefit from people who have a broad skill set, people who can connect the dots between research, strategy, and design execution. The pressure to specialize often comes from external voices like job postings, threads, even mentors, but that doesn't mean it's the only way to be successful. So, how do you find clarity? You experiment. Instead of boxing yourself in or trying to pick your forever path right now, think of your career as a series of informed experiments. What kind of work energizes you the most when you're doing it? What environments let you use your range and get recognized for it? You might also try paying attention to how you enjoy working. Do you like deep solo focus? Do you like collaborating with product managers and engineers? Do you want to own a problem space end to end or go deep into one slice of the product? These preferences will help you narrow in on roles that match your vibe, not just your skills. And finally, don't let the fear of not being specialized enough stop you from owning your story. Your range is a strength, and the more you show how your diverse skill set helps you connect strategy with design or turn insights into impact, the more powerful you become as a designer. You don't have to have it all figured out today. You just need to keep taking steps that teach you something about what you want next. So I hope that helps. If you are listening and you would like to submit
a question for this Q&A segment, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would love to get your question answered here on the podcast. Thanks for tuning in to Elevate Your UX Career. I hope today's episode gave you fresh insight and the boost you need to step into your power as a UX designer. If this helped you, please hit subscribe and leave a review. It means the world and helps others find the show. Want to connect? Find me on LinkedIn at Brittany Cates and join my newsletter for exclusive career tips, behind-the-scenes stories, helpful tools, and episode updates, all to help you level up your UX career. Get the link in the show notes. And remember, your voice matters, your impact is real, and your next level is just ahead. Keep designing your future like the UX leader you're meant to be.